Good evening, Yarnies. How is everyone tonight? So we're finishing our Granny Month. It's finally over. Not finally. It's not like it's a bad thing. It just seems like this month has gone on and on and on. It's like feels like forever ago that we started with our first flower. So to round out our Granny Month, this is not a Granny Stitch, but it is a garden theme to go along with our. It's a garden related. Well, it's a garden stitch that goes along with our garden theme for Granny Month. So we had 2 weeks of flowers and 2 weeks of fauna or insects. Ended with our ladybug last night, which super adorable. So the same color scheme, pretty much the same color scheme as last night. We are going to be doing the strawberry stitch. Now, I don't know how well that's showing up on camera. Let me try to. No, it's not really showing up too well. But this is a 3-dimensional stitch. This is the strawberry stitch from Naztazia on YouTube. It's a simple 4-row repeat. And I wish the looks a little washed out. Let me change one thing real quick. Let's see if having a black background will help. Not really. It's the red yarn and the light. There we go. Oh. So they're 3-dimensional, little, almost a popcorn of our little stitch. So I know it's kind of difficult to see, but we're going to make do. Now, my tension is a little tight on my starting row of my sample. That's why it's curved. It should not be curved. And to help that, I'm going to go up a hook size for my chain and my first row. And then we'll switch over to our normal hook that we use. Alrighty, so this, like I said, it's a simple 4-row repeat. And chain, your multiple is a multiple of 4. So put your slip knot on your hook, and we're going to do a multiple of 4. I'm going to do 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm only going to do a short little sample. You can do as long as you want, but again, it's a multiple of 4. So for your first row, you're going to skip your first chain, and all the other chains into each of them, you're going to put a single crochet. Real basic. Just a row of singles. So when you get to the end of the row, in my case, I'm going to have 15 singles, because again, we skipped the first one, so it's a multiple of 4, but it's actually one less for singles, because again, you skip that first chain. That's your turning chain. And get to the end of the row. Got one more stitch. Okay, I'm going to switch my hooks because that was just a larger one, so I don't have that much of that curve of my work. So we got our row of singles. You're going to put your hook in the loop. So row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn. In the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, you're going to put a single. 1 single into each stitch. Real basic. See if I can get, if that light helps. No, it helps a little bit. Now in the next stitch, you're going to put 5 double crochets. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then the next 3 stitches, each stitch gets 1 single. The next stitch gets 5 doubles. Four, 5. This row we're doing right now is the first row of our repeat. That first row that we did single crochets, that only happens that first time. That's to start you off. So your repeat is going to start on row 2, which is what we're working on now. So the first 3 each get a single. The next stitch gets 5 doubles. The next 3 each get a single. The next one get 5 doubles. You repeat that. So the next 3 each are going to get 1 single. The next one's going to get 5 doubles. You're going to repeat this pattern, and at the end you will have 3 stitches left. So I'm still working on my doubles. Whoops. Okay. So you have 3 stitches left, and those 3 stitches each are going to get a single. So you're going to start with 3 singles, and you're going to end with 3 singles. That's what's going to look like at the end of row number 1. And when we get to the end of row number 1, actually before we finish that last stitch, I will change color. So before we finish off, I'm going to add my green. I'm going to cut my red. We're going to add our green. So for row number 2, I'm going to chain up 1 and turn. And the first 3 stitches are each going to get a single. The exact same as you did on the previous row. Now, the next 5 stitches, which are your fan shape, this is going to form your strawberry. In each of the next 5, you're going to do single crochet 5 together. So what that means is you go to the first stitch, bring up a loop, go in the next stitch, bring up a loop, go in the next stitch, bring up a loop, go in the next stitch, bring up a loop, and then the last one go in and bring up a loop. So we've gone into each one and brought up a loop. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through all 3, chain 1, and in that last double crochet that we worked, we're going to slip stitch. So we did 5 singles together, chain 1, And in that very last double, so the last double of our quote-unquote fan, we did a slip stitch. Now the next 3 stitches, into each of those stitches, you're going to do a single. And that is your repeat for row number 2. So we're going to do that again. So the next 5 stitches, you're going to do single crochet 5 together. So go in, bring up a loop, go in the next one, bring up a loop, the next one, bring up a loop, the next one, bring up a loop, and the 5th one, bring up a loop. So you have a total of 6 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all, and then chain 1. And then that last double that we brought up a loop in, go in and do a slip stitch. Now we've got 3 singles. Those 3 singles that are here, we're going to put 1 in each single. 1 single in each stitch, I should say. Now we're up to our fan. Let me check something real quick. Okay, so we're to our fan again, which is this is gonna form the strawberry. So you're gonna do 5 singles together. So again, you're gonna go into one, bring up a strand, go into the next, bring up a strand, the third. Whoops, I just only went through 1 loop on this one here. The third, the 4th, and then in the 5th one, bring it up. So we're going to have a total of 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over through all, chain 1, and in that last one that we brought up, slip stitch. Then we have 3 stitches at the very end. Each one is going to get a single. And what we're going to do at the very end here, we're going to switch our yarn, our colors back. I will, I'm going to trim my green. So we've done half the repeat. Hey there, Fairy Dust. I'm good. How are you? We're doing the strawberry stitch, and I get my sample here. It's kind of blending in. Let me make this like that. Might be a little bit better. That actually probably works a lot better. Even though it's covering up the name of my channel. Not that that matters. Alrighty, so now we're on row number 3. Again, like I said, this is a 4-row repeat. First row we did the strawberry. The second row, well, the very first row we did singles. So row number 2, we formed that's our strawberry row. Row number 3 was our leaf row, and now we're going to do the next row, which is another strawberry row, but they're going to intersect each other. They're going to nestle into each other. They're alternating. That's a better. Yep, it would make a really good throw. I could see this possibly as a border. You could do it however wide, because this right here, I've got 5 rows of strawberries. No, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 rows of strawberries. You can make it as wide as you want, and it's very textured, but it does have a right and a wrong side. So that's the back side. So it has a right and a wrong. And again, for some reason, the cameras don't like red. That's a little bit better there. Alrighty, so the next row, I've switched over to my red. I got to get my tails all the right way. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Okay. So now that we've turned, I'm going to pop these, they're not popcorns, they're almost like popcorns. Pop them like that. This will be the back side, and that's the front side. And I don't know how well there, you can kind of see that looks really good. That is what your strawberry is going to look like when we're done. Okay, so to start this row, the very first stitch gets a single. I got to revert to my, okay. The next stitch, so we had 3 singles. We had 1, 2, 3. The first one gets a single. The next one are going to get your 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to be our strawberry. The very next stitch, which is right here, is going to get a single. Now, you're going to find the top quote-unquote stem part of your strawberry. So you're going to skip this. This is actually like your chain. You're going to skip that. You're going to go into where you gathered everything up when you did your 5 double, not double, your 5 single together. It's right in there. You're going to go into that stitch and do a single. And then you're going to skip this. This is like a chain. And in the actual stitch, the first single crochet, you're going to put in another single. Now we're going to find the middle one of our 3 green, the middle one right there. You're going to put your 5 doubles. 2, 3, 4, and 5. The very next stitch gets a single. We're going to go to the center of our quote-unquote what I call the stem. So you're going to skip this first chain, and you're going to go right into the top of your strawberry. And again, I know it's difficult to see with the colors and the camera. You go in the top and you do a single. You skip this little chain and you go into your actual next stitch and do another single. And now you're in the middle. You've got your middle of your 3 singles. And in that middle one, you do 5 doubles. 2, 3, 4, and 5. The very next stitch gets a single. The top of your stem. So again, you're going to skip this little, it's a little chain. You're going to skip that. You're going to go into the top of your stem, do a single, skip the next little chain, and then the next, right immediately after that is a stitch. That gets a single. Now you're at your end. You've got 2 stitches. So the first stitch is going to get your 5 doubles all in that same stitch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And your last stitch gets a single. And before I finish that stitch, I'm going to change my yarn back to my green. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do this last row. I'm going to finish off the green, and then I'm going to switch colors. So it might be easier to see, because I realize that this is very difficult to see. We're going to have an ad here soon. But this row is just like the previous row, it's just you start differently. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. Your first stitch gets a single. And we've come to our strawberry. You're going to do single crochet 5 together. So you're going to go into 1, bring up a strand, 2, bring up a strand, 3, bring up a strand, 4, and number 5, yarn over, and go through all of those. Let's see here real quick. So we've gone to single crochet 5 together, chain 1, and in your very first, well, the very last double that you went into, do a single. And then the next 2, you're each going to get a single. And again, I will redo all of this in colors that are not strawberry colors, so you'll be able to see them better. And I will be right back after this ad. And welcome back. Thank you for watching that ad. Alrighty. So we've done our 3 singles. And again, I will use some stream-friendly colors after I get done this row. So then we've come to our quote-unquote fan. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, nope, I messed up. Okay. So we're going to go back to when we did our single crochet 5 together. We chained 1, and in the very first, not the first, the last double, we're going to slip stitch. That's what we should have done. So the next 3 stitches are each going to get a single. And now we come to our strawberry, and there's 5 stitches. So you're going to do single crochet 5 together. So you're going to go in through each of them, bring up a strand, yarn over and go through all of them, chain 1, and then that last one of the 5 double crochets of our strawberry, go in and slip stitch. The next 3 stitches each get a single. And repeat the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go through all of them, chain 1, and then in that very last double crochet, do a slip stitch, and then you get 3 singles in a row. We've come to our last strawberry, and putting the leaves and the stem on top of your strawberry is what actually forms it into a strawberry. Go through all of them, chain 1, and then the same one that we worked in, slip stitch, and in our last stitch, do a single. And then anytime that you're working a stem row, from the back side, you can pop the berries forward, and that will form your berries. So let's switch to a little bit easier colors to see. We'll do the exact same thing. We're going to do, we're going to have blueberry. They're going to be blue strawberries, not blueberries. That's a totally different fruit. Okay. So let's start that all over again, just so everybody can see. So I'm going to use a larger hook, just so my tension isn't as tight, because my original sample here, it kind of curves. This one's a little bit better. And that's just, I normally stitch tight anyway. Let me move this out of the way so it's a little bit easier to see. Alrighty, so again, it's a multiple of 4 for your starting chain. So I'm going to do 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then in the second chain from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to do a single crochet in all of the rest of the chains, just like if you were just going to do a project that's just single, like if you're starting to learn crochet. When you get to the end of this row, in my case, I'm going to have 15, but you're going to have one less of your multiple of 16. Again, because you skipped that first chain, that's your turning chain. Alrighty. 2 more stitches to do. So that first row is always going to be a row of singles. That's just going to get you started as a base. So I'm going to change hooks. Again, that was a hook that's a little bit larger, just for my tension. And now let's do our berries. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. The first 3 stitches are each going to get a single. The next stitch will get 5 doubles. Two, 3, 4, and 5. The next 3 each are going to get a single. The next one gets 5 doubles. You're going to repeat that. Five. When you get to the very end, you're going to have 3 stitches. You're going to start with 3 and you're going to end with 3. So I just did my 5 into 1 stitch. The next 3 are each going to get a single. The next stitch will get 5 doubles. Five. And again, we end with 3 stitches. Each of those will get 1 single. So that is what we're finishing up now is the first row of our 4-row repeat. So you got 3 singles, so 1, 2, 3 individually. The next stitch gets 5 doubles, all in the same stitch. The next 3 stitches each get 1 single, and then keep going. When you get to the end, you'll have 3. Each of those 3 will get 1 single. So now we're going to switch our colors. I'm going to use yellow as our stem. This is a very bizarre looking strawberry. But again, so you can see everything. So I'm gonna, whoops, if I can join my yarn, just changing colors like you normally would. Chain 1 and turn. Now this is our stem or leaf row. The first 3 stitches are each going to get 1 single. Now we come to our 5 doubles here, and into each of those stitches, we're going to do single crochet 5 together. In one, bring up a strand. In the next one, bring up, should say loop. Bring up the loop. In the next one, bring up a loop. In the 4th one, bring up a loop. And in the 5th one, bring up a loop. You'll have 6 on the hook. Yarn over through all of those. Chain 1. And in that last double crochet that you did your 5 together, go in and do a slip stitch. Now the next 3, each one gets a single. And that's the repeat for this row. Again, we've come to our 5 doubles. So we're going to do single crochet 5 together. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over through all of them. Chain 1. And in that last double crochet that we did our 5 together, do a slip stitch. Now in these 3 singles, each one gets a single. Come to our next strawberry. We're doing single crochet 5 together, so that's 2, 3, 4, and if I can get into the 5th one, that was a little tight. Yarn over, go through all of those, chain 1, and in that last one, go in and do a slip stitch. And at the end of the row, you should have 3 stitches. Each one gets a single. And in my last stitch, I'm going to change colors. I have to cut my strand from the blue previously, because I didn't do it then. I'm going to join the blue again. So that was row 2 of the repeat. It was actually technically row 3, but in the repeat, we did a berry row and then a leaf row, or a stem row. Change our colors, chain 1 and turn, and at this point we can pop our berries away from us, because that's what our berries are going to look like. So for this row, for the 3rd row of the repeat, the very first stitch gets a single. The next stitch, because remember we had 3 singles here, the first one gets a single, the middle one gets your 5 doubles. So essentially you're putting in a fan. 2, 3, 4, and 5. The very next stitch gets a single. We're going to skip this. This was our slip stitch. Go into our chain that when we gathered up our 5, our single crochet 5 together to form our leaf, you're going to go into the top of that stitch there, put in a single. You're going to skip this little chain thing, and in your first of your 3 singles that are here, 1, 2, 3, your first one you come to, put in a single. Our second of our singles is going to get another fan. I'm just going to call them fans because that's what they are. They're fans until you do the stems. And let me fix this music because I don't like that. Okay. That was 3, 4, and number 5. The very next stitch, right here where my thumb is going to get a single, skip the slip stitch, into the top here where we gathered them all together, put in a single, skip this little slip stitch chain thing, and in the top of the actual single gets another single. And in the middle, this is the middle single of these 3, put another fan. And then basic 5 double crochet fan. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very next stitch gets a single. Skip our slip stitch. Go into the next, to the top of our, looks like schnozberries. Whoever heard of a schnozberry? Skip our slip stitch into the top of our leaf stem area. Go in and put in a single. Skip our chain. And in our actual single, put in a single. The next single here, because we have 3, we started with 3. So the middle one gets a fan. And again, it's a 5 double crochet fan. 3, 4, and 5. Our last stitch, we'll get a single, but before we finish it, I'm going to add my leaf, quote unquote, leaf color. My camera was better, my lighting setup was better. You'd see the red and green a lot better than you normally would. I'm a trifle deaf in my left ear. Next time, speak up. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. Good day, sir. Can't remember the exact quote. Okay, chain one and turn. The first stitch gets a single. Now, we've come to our fan. We're going to do our single crochet 5 together. And again, you're going to go in, bring up the loop, go in the next one, bring up a loop, go in the next one, bring up a loop, the fourth one, bring up a loop, and the fifth one, bring up a loop. Yarn over through all of them, chain one. Oh, the suspense. I hope it will last. Okay, now we're quoting Willy Wonka. Okay. So we formed our cap, our leaf. We've chained one to lock it, and in the very last double crochet, of our strawberry, you're going to go in and slip stitch right into it. The next 3 stitches are each going to get a single. And now we've come to our fan. We're going to make it into a strawberry, or whatever you call this Dr. Seuss version of it. And again, it's single crochet 5 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over through all, chain 1, and then that last one that you did that in, go back in and do a slip stitch. The next 3 singles each get a single. And you repeat. Yarn over through all of them, chain 1 to lock, and then that last one that we work, do a slip. And the next 3 each get a single. So it's a relatively easy pattern to do. It's just the starting each alternate row of where to put the berries, but even that's not that difficult. Five, yarn over through all, chain 1, and then that last one of our berry, go in and do a slip stitch, and you got 1 stitch here at the end, do a single crochet. I'm not going to change my color, but what you would do is, that was the end of our repeat, and it's a 4-row repeat, so you would just start with row number 2 again to continue. You'd end up doing your 3 singles here, just like you would normally do in the top. So you go in the first one, you skip that little slip stitch, you go into the top of your stem, skip this little chain thingy, and then go in here, and then you would form your next berry right in there. And then from the back side, you can just pop your berries, and you've got that 3-dimensional look. It doesn't look that good in the blue and yellow. It looks a lot better if the camera would also work. There, we can kind of see it. So we've got a cute little strawberries. Again, there's a right and a wrong side. That's the right side. That's the back. So it's not reversible. And again, this is the strawberry stitch from the YouTube channel Naztazia. It would look really cute. I think Fairy Dust said it would look good as a throw or a blanket. I could see it as an edging. If you could do a couple rows, however many rows you want. Even like the trim around the top of like a bag or a basket. And it's very appropriate because here in North America, This is strawberry season. End of June into July, at least where I live, it's strawberry season. So that's the cute strawberry stitch. And that ends our grading month. Like I had mentioned earlier, it just seemed like this month, and I'm not complaining, it just seemed like the month kept going on and on and on, because it felt like an eternity ago that when we did our first flower. I'm going to put all that to the side, and for the rest of the stream, I'm going to work on this tote bag. Now, I can't really teach how to do this because I don't have the permission, but from the, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we're good. From the designer, I got to pull up. Actually, no, I think we're good. But it's a real simple pattern. I can just tell you that the base here, you chain X amount, and you do singles into each chain. You get to the end, you increase. It's an increase on the, to do the, to go around, and you go around the back side of the chain. And you do however many times, you keep increasing, you get this oval type base. And then the body of it is the linen stitch. It's the same stitch that we're doing on the temperature blanket, but this is all 2 thicknesses of yarn, and it looks totally different than the temperature blanket. But you can see it's the linen stitch, or like we like to call here, the zipper stitch. And I am using 2 strands of worsted weight cotton. And unlike my baskets that I've made to store my yarn or my carding supplies, that I was using my 5.5 millimeter hook, I've gone up to a 6.5 millimeter hook. So we're changing it up here, using more hooks than just my red one. But there is a certain, it's a 2-row repeat, and it's at the end here, certain things you do one row, and it's different. But this is going to be a tote that I'm just going to use to store the yarn that I'm going to be using for the marathon stream. So I don't care what this looks like. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay here and house a bunch of yarn. And this is the yarn that I'm going to use. And I've got 2 more larger cakes. And there's a slight difference in color. I think it's slightly different dye lots. It's some yarn that I've had for a while. It's like it's a textured baby yarn. I don't know if I'm going to use both of them together. They would coordinate, but we'll see. But that's for the marathon stream. I had a whole bunch of it, and I need to use it up. And that will be coming up on the 16th. So in about 2 weeks. So again, starting next week, we are going to be doing filet crochet next week. I'll teach what filet crochet is and how to read a pattern or a chart and how to do filet. And then later in the week, we're going to design our own pattern and stitch something up. Also, Thursday is our first Throwback Thursday of our vintage patterns. Got a cute little coaster doily pattern. That will be our first project we do. And we're going to have an ad. I will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. And I'm getting near the end of this ball, but I got more of this yarn. If anybody is curious about this pattern that I'm doing, this tote bag pattern, it's from a blog called Joe to the World. I just searched crochet tote bag, and this is one of the first things that came up that was pretty basic. I didn't want anything too elaborate. So I can always link this in the Discord, the link to this project. It will have straps. Oh no! Oh no! What's up, Seagam? You missed it, Seagam. I made some strawberries. And since you couldn't really see the red and the green on camera, I made you some blue and yellow strawberries. Now I'm just working on a tote bag, because Granny Month is now officially over. Gotta remember what I gotta do here when I get to the end of this round. Okay, go in. Okay, don't chain. Man, it's dusty in there. Gotta clean. What? Oh, it's dusty where you are. I'm like, it's not dusty here. Well, it is a little, but it's not really dusty. Why is it dusty? Hmm. Okay. Gotta put a. I've got two color stitch markers, and it's so I can keep track of rows 2 and 3, because I got to repeat 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and I know which one goes for 2 and which one for 3, because when you join and when you start and stop, it's slightly different. Because if not, I'll lose track of what row I'm on. But I know what to do if I see the green stitch marker coming up. When I get to the end, it's like, okay, I know what to do there. So what is everybody working on, if you're working on something besides CGAM needing to dust? When I get done stream here, I need to go bake some cookies. We're having a family over tomorrow. And I've got cookie dough in the refrigerator that I made this morning. So I got to bake them up. I gotta do a little clean. Oh, and also, I know what I need to do. I gotta see if the avocados are ripe so I can make some guacamole. I make pretty good homemade well, I was gonna say makaloli. Pretty good homemade guacamole. Arms getting tight. Normally, I'm sitting back doing this, so my arms are closer to me. I'm just not used to leaning forward, and plus, I gotta use a little more strength because it's double thickness and it's cotton and it's a bigger hook and oh, I came to a knot and I need to put in an actual weaver's knot. Again, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a weaver's knot in the hand instead of doing it the way where you lay it out and everything. So if anybody's curious, be a good refresher. So this is the yarn that I'm running out of, and this is the new yarn. So I'm going to take the old one, put it on the bottom of the new one, form an X, and pinch it with my fingers. And take the old one, take this part that's connected to the work, go around your thumb and around this first bunny ear. We go around and put it in between and pinch it. So it's under that bunny ear, but over top of this one. I'm going to take this bunny ear from the new strand, put it under that loop. Okay, pull it through, pinch the bunny ears together. And when I do that, I'm going to pull on the old strand that's connected to my work. So I'm going to pinch the bunny ears together. This is the old strand, and I'm going to pull real tight. And now I'm going to pull both strands, and you're secure. And then you can cut your ends real close to your knot. I don't want them too close. And that's your weaver's knot. Makes a little bit of a smaller knot than if you do like an overhand knot. And you're not going to see it as much when it's in your work. In an ideal world, we wouldn't have knots, wouldn't have to join and add knots to our yarn, but that's just the way it is. I'm coming to the end of this round, and I will have to keep going. They say that I might make it a little bit bigger than what they're asking for. I don't want it to make it too big and too disproportionate. Let me check something. I always forget what I need to do. Okay. Here. And I'm going to join. And every few rows or so, I go and count my stitches. I should have 52 singles. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 20, 26, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 40, 7, 48, 49, 50, 1 and 2. Yep, I counted right. So I've been doing it the right way. So I'm going to measure to see from the base. The base is right here. I don't think we're at 11 inches yet. We're only about 10. I'm going to make it a little bit taller than 11 inches. And when that's done, I'll figure out what needs to be done next. I don't know if I go right into the straps or if there's something else has to be done. If there's like an edging that needs to be put on it. I haven't looked that far ahead in the pattern. But it's just a simple tote bag pattern. Stitch marker in there. I really, really, really love these split ring stitch markers for big jumbo yarn. Yeah, they might come out, but if you got thicker yarn, works great. I don't have to worry about bending the little piece on a traditional stitch marker and it wearing out over time and breaking. And so far, my new set of stitch markers that I got, none of them broke so far. Oh, I saw Clay Miku yesterday, and she gave me a bunch of cotton yarn that she didn't like, and I understand it is a little rougher than other cotton yarn. So I got a whole bunch more colors that I can use here on stream. And when I get to the end of this little clump of quote unquote ball of yarn, I will show you the colors I got. Already done this row. Wait. I didn't do no, I did do a chain. Okay. Yeah, don't chain at the end here. Just go in and do a slip. Move that here. Put my new stitch marker in there. Almost done this little bit of leftover yarn. Not leftover yarn. A little bit of the ball before I add the new one. Getting all twisted and tangled. Okay, we're going to stop there for real quick. And I'm going to show off what she gave me. It was some leftover yarn that she had worked on a project. She did like a rainbow mandala type thing. So she gave me these colors, bright colors. I can use everything on stream except the purple and the red. I think they're going to be too dark. We already had that issue with the red tonight. But we got some bright pastel, vivid bright colors that'll work really good on stream. So one bowl of each of those. And she gave me 2 of these cones of, it's all sugar and cream brand. So this variegated, what do they call this? Color name is called Summerfield Ombre. So it's got like burgundies and greens and some white. So I've got a lot of that. I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but plenty of yarn. Maybe more yarn baskets, maybe a tote, maybe, I don't know. Come up with something. So I need to find the beginning of this ball, because I got to pull from the inside and the outside because we're doing 2 strands, and it's a single strand cake, so it's not 2 strands coming out of the center. I need to join yarn, and again we're going to do weaver's knots. I'll show again how to do a weaver's knot. This is the yarn that's running out. I'm going to do each one individually. I'm not going to join them together. I'm going to do them individually. So this is my old yarn. This is my new. The old on the bottom, the new on the top. Form an X. Pinch it. With the old, wrap around your thumb and the ear on the left and pinch it. With the ear on the right, go underneath that loop. Bring it up, hold both ears together, and with the other hand, pull the old strand, and then you can pull it like that, and you're tight. Trim my little ends. We're going to do the same thing with the other one. Again, it's double thickness. This is my old. This is the new. So the old's going to go in on the bottom. The new's going to go on top. And I don't know how well this is showing up on camera. Take the old and around in between the 2 ears. We're going to call those ears. Take the right one in through the loop, hold both of them together, and pull the old one, not the new one. If you pull the new one, it's not going to tighten. Pull that tight. We've joined. Now we can get back to our row. Since we're not doing the strawberry stitch anymore, I should have removed this. Remove that. And alrighty. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed Granny Month. I had a lot of fun searching the flowers and the squares, and a lot of fun making both the sample and doing it live here on stream. We will be having another Granny event in, I'm not certain when. I don't know if we're going to do it in August. I've got some squares picked out for more fall winter themed. Maybe September, possibly. And I don't know if it's going to be month long or not. I haven't planned that far in advance. I'm having issues with my yarn cake here. Normally I would wrap it into a hand wound ball beforehand, but I didn't prep it. So I'm going to just get a bunch pulled from the cake, because I'm pulling from the inside and the outside. I think that'll be enough slack for now. Let me check something. And we're going to go to an ad here momentarily. That music is a little depressing sounding. Alrighty. I will be right back after this ad break. And welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sitting through that ad break. Let me measure to see how far we've got. I want to do roughly what they're saying. Let me double check to see what the pattern says. Approximately 11 inches. Let's see. We're at 11 inches. But you know what? I'm going to finish this row, and they want me to end on the next row. So I'm going to do this row and then one more. So it'll be roughly 11 inches. Might be a little bit bigger, but that's fine. Again, it's just a tote bag. It's not like a fitted garment. Then once I finish these 2 rows, I think we're going to end the stream because, again, like I said, I've got cookies to bake and guac to make. I'm just hoping those avocados are ripe enough. I pick them out, try to pick ones that were closer to being ripe, and I did put them in a brown paper bag with an onion to help ripen them. That was the other day, so let's hope. Gotta remember what all I put in my guac. Gotta pull up more slack. Oh, there's already a knot here. So while I'm got some slack, I'm gonna fix that knot so it's not a crappy knot, and it's more of the knot that I want. Arm's getting tired. Already to the end of this row, and then I'm going to probably do, like I said, one last row. Alrighty, there we go. We're going to finish this last row. And as we go, I'm going to count to make certain I've got 52 singles. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I gotta change. Gotta cut the yarn. So that was 17 we have. I don't want to lose count. Full of knots. That was 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28, 30, 31, 2, 33, 34, 5, 6, 37, 8, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 8, 49, 50, 51, and 52. And I don't chain on that last one. I just slip stitch. Again, my loop a little bit large so I don't lose the stitch. And let's measure it just for curiosity. We're at 11 and a half. We're good. Alrighty. So I think we're going to end it there. Next time I work on this, I don't know if I'm going to end up doing this again on stream. I'll probably do the straps off stream because I think all that's left. So that's a good sized tote bag. Let me switch this over. I will be on tomorrow night, hopefully, to do temperature blanket. We may or may not do it because it's kind of warm. I might end up postponing temperature blanket until the beginning of the fall when it's not so warm, even with the AC. So that might be put on hold. If that's the case, I'll have to come up with other stuff I'm going to do on Sundays. while I'm thinking of it, I'll give a sneak peek of what's coming up on Tuesday. Got all my little samples here. Tuesday, we're going to be doing filet crochet. I'm just going to show what filet crochet is. Tuesday, we'll get into actually explaining it and how to do it. It's really easy. If you can count to 3, you can do it. Oh, let me get this put out on to my table. Purling on the edges. Well, you know what? We'll flip it over. We'll just do it that way. We'll work with the curling that's going on here. Curling the other way, but that's fine. So this is filet crochet. So there's different ways of doing it. I'll show how to do both. And then I will show in larger yarn. But this is what filet looks like. It's an open work. And you could do pictures, letters, numbers, graphics, all that type of thing. So that is what we'll be doing on Tuesday and next Saturday. Thursday, like I said, is our Throwback Thursday. We will do our first vintage pattern. It's going to be a coaster pattern. Technically, it's a doily, but it's just smaller. If I end up not doing temperature blanket in the summer, we might be doing more vintage patterns on Sundays. So in addition to our Throwback Thursday, I haven't decided yet. So let's take a look over here. I was going to grade somebody, but I don't see anybody that is on at the moment. So anyway, we're going to end that here. Thank you all for tuning in for Granny Month. Hope you all enjoyed the squares that I chose for the month. Thank you for tonight for tuning in for the strawberry stitch. I will see you all tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I think that's it.